My name is George. I'm looking at Sonia. This is Clara and Kasifa and Tanda, Kappa Penny and Shaken and Precious and Olivia and Nancy and Jade. Rushing my pure water and cave after that.
Okay.
Last time helmet and water loop or is good or is
And you like working with the horses?
yes.
You do? Which one's your favorite?
Omi.
Omi, you like Omi?
Oh, and
I'm
Diana's
thrilled.
back.
I'm thrilled to say Diana's back. Although everybody, as you can clearly see, knows the horses very, very well. This is Diana Trisha, which is our chief inspector, and she also knows all the horses, obviously, at the R&R. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you,
You had to rush off this morning to an urgent vet case. Can you just give us a little insight on what happened?
I can. Akifa, that's not always very kind. She decided she's highly pregnant, so she was roaming around. She was roaming around on the grass, and she stood into a old TV screen piece of glass.
Oh no!
And they called us out. It was bleeding quite a lot, very actively bleeding, but we fixed her up, and she even allowed me to inject her. Which she normally doesn't do.
She doesn't.
Yeah, but I told her
You
I'm going to tell
insisted.
you. I'm going to tell the fundraising team if she's going to waste my time. No, she was very sweet and very kind. She'll be okay. She'll be okay. I've also been in contact with Dr. Lawrence. So
Did she come out?
No, she did not. But oh, hello. Sorry.
You clearly all you had to say hello, Diana. Where have you been all morning? Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And folks, we're on, I think, 20,000, as Marika said. So we really need your support. We're introducing you to all the horses that need the 300,000 Rand that we're trying to raise. But the next up is Sarah, and Diana's going to be talking about Diana.
Karen, can I quickly slot in there by the raising of the money? You know, on my
Yes.
way back, we're going to have a horse fight here. And I'm a nightmare. They must just remember that. You know, on my way back from Epping, from Cape Town, I was thinking to myself, you know, without funds, yes, it would not have been able for me to go out and assist that horse.
That is so true.
And it could have been very, very different for her. The outcome
would be
very different. So funds are really so important for us. Well, Sarah, or the Bonteville Queen, or Queen of Bonteville, she and one of her foals, she had a tough life as a counselor. She worked very, very hard, and then eventually we persuaded the owner to retire her. But she was a breeding mare for
She was.
and she had like every year, literally every year, a foal. And he actually gave one foal to Cartles, Fred. Fred, yes, that was
Okay.
adopted out. And then one day she was roaming around with her little princess. The queen and the princess was roaming around all over Bonteville, Olivia, and she was pregnant
Again.
and again. And I think Zelda then asked, "What do we do?" I said, "We load and we take," and that's exactly what we did. Prior to that, before she arrived here, she really worked very hard as a cart horse. She
When you say, sorry, Diana, when you say work very hard, like every day, all day.
every day and literally overloaded, and
Oh.
we confiscated her before, and she had quite a difficult veterinary cases. I remember one specific one. She went to Dr. Pegram's farm because she had an eye injury, and Dr. Peg, she had permanent treatment from Dr. Pegram needed. So she was there, and she doesn't like Bontos.
She does.
But she's a lovely personality. You would think after all these years
she would be turned
working. I don't know,
angry.
George. Um, I say, is it nasty to you? Or I say, say like of course.
Yeah, like
Say,
that.
I can see like of course is a another one that likes their food. Yeah, and I'm quite surprised that no one is actually adopted her. Yeah, but we will keep it here as long as needed. Obviously, it costs us a lot of money, but we will keep her. We don't put down just because we can. We can't.
Absolutely, and that's why,
Definitely not do that.
yeah, that's why the Recovery and Rehabilitation Centre is here, which is a place for these horses that get signed over, as Marika mentioned, that have been abused and neglected. Each of these horses here has a story. Some of them born here, some of them, like I said, signed over, but each one of them had a story, and we're here to sort of look after them and make sure that they're happy, content, and once they get rehabilitated, their personality shines through. They find they're heard. They're not working every day. And like I said, as Diana said, we'll do whatever it takes until they get their forever home, which they deserve, never to work again.
And sometimes we take horses, we confiscate horses, or horses get signed over that's really old, and then you think to yourself, oh, will you ever find a home? And I mean, the past couple of months, I've been surprised that those horses that's been here for 3, 4, 5 years have actually managed to get adopted.
Amazing.
It is. It really brings a tear to your eye. You cannot believe that a horse of nearly 27 years old. Who wants a horse of 27? There's always someone that wants a horse.
I was going to say, there's always somebody special out there that
Yeah.
gives these horses a home. Some of our horses have gone on to be therapy horses. Some of them have gone into dressage, jumping. A lot of them, unfortunately, can only be pleasure horses because they can't be backed or there's some issues, or companion horses. So there's some horse here for everybody. But in the meantime, we have to love and look after them and make sure that their every need is achieved and met. So once again, we need your donations. We're going to be here all day, and as Adrian says, until late tonight, until we get our 300,000 rand. So please tell your family and friends, share the videos, pledge if you can't do it today. So we can definitely organize something later. But there is a WhatsApp line, but Marika will tell you more about that, and then we'll tell you more about the other horses that are all eagerly waiting to be interviewed. Thanks, Diana. So glad that you're back.
Thank you.
And back to Marika in the studio.
Yes, Karen and I have worked for many weeks to make this day happen, and we're very excited that it's finally here and we finally get to do it. I am lucky that I'm not out in the sun. Karen, you need to go get your hat. You're going to be pink by the end of the day. But we are thrilled to share with you all these beautiful horses. I'm going to leave that screen up so you can actually see a bit of the farm. It's so beautiful and restive, and it's actually called the Recovery and Rehabilitation Centre, but we call it the farm. And we just absolutely love going there. We love spending time there. The horses are at peace, and it's just beautiful. I'll show you a little video later on of all the animals. There are geese, there are chickens, which you must have heard, and then Carmen's little dog is there, and it's just a lovely place to spend time. And it's so nice for our whole team to get together and do something. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about another horse that was at the R&R. He's no longer, or she's no longer there. I just have a little bit of, it's just a little short story, but she was confiscated in 2011, and she was found working when she'd been booked off. So the same as with the previous horse, she was under condition and she had open wounds. And to top it all off, she was involved in a high-speed police chase when her driver tried to flee from the police. So we have some very interesting cases that find their way to the R&R. So that's Allah, but she's moved on. Please donate to this Sponsathon. We have raised 20,805 Rand so far. and we've been streaming for 2 hours and 13 minutes. And we're going to keep going until we've streamed for 8 hours, because that's what we're allowed on Facebook. We stream on Facebook, we stream on YouTube, we also stream on Twitch. So if you have friends on any of these platforms, please, all over the world, get them to watch our stream and meet these wonderful creatures. They're just beautiful. There's a special bond between people and horses that people, it's impossible to describe. You only know if you're a horse lover. And even if you're not, I know a lot of people who aren't particularly horse lovers, but they know that horses are special. It costs us more than 3,000 Rand a month to take care of these horses at the R&R. I've shared this figure before, but I'm going to do it again because I don't know who's watching and who's just tuned in. So our expenses over the next year will be more than 2 million Rand. And we get a big chunk of that sponsored by the Les Joel Foundation grant that we get every year. But that still leaves us more than 1 million Rand that we have to cover ourselves. So that is a cost of 99,760 Rand per month. And if we divide that by the 33 horses that we have residing at the R&R at the moment, that is 3,023 Rand and 33 cents per horse per month. So that's just over 3,000 Rand per horse per month that it costs us to keep these horses at the Recovery and Rehabilitation Center. So if you can, please donate. I'm going to remove this so you can see the QR code properly. There we go. You can either just scan the QR code, that's for SnapScan. So we use SnapScan. I personally think that's the easiest way in the world to donate. You just either click on the QR code or you go into the app on your phone. You go into the bottom right hand corner, click on more, then on donate, and you search for Cart Horse, and you can make any donation, 50 Rand, 100 Rand, 500 Rand, 1,000 Rand, anything. We are most grateful. No donation is too big or too small. It looks like Karen is ready for us at the next horse. So I'm going to unmute her. Oopsie, not there. There we go. There we go. Hello, Karen.
Hey, hi, everybody. If you've just tuned in, welcome. As Marika says, we need 300,000 Rand at the end of the day. So dig deep, pledge. We really, really need your support. The next horse we're going to be talking about is Perfect Timing. And as you know, Diana has just returned back from the vet case. And we're just trying to make sure that although everybody gets along. There we go. And this puppet over here is Perfect Timing. Oh, it flies. Diana, how long have you been working for Castles? How long have you been with us for?
Every time when I get angry, I say it's too long. 20 plus years.
20 plus years.
I've been with Carter's.
So you've been with Ashley since the beginning, basically.
Me and Ashley started at the same time. And we worked very well together, and we learned a lot. Specifically, Ashley taught me a lot, like the Carter's owners. So it's a tremendous different world on the Cape Flats. It is than what I was used to. But it's something that I wouldn't want to change for the world. I will keep on doing it, and sometimes when they make me so angry, I think I might be locked up for murder because I just get so angry sometimes.
Not the organization, but the people that
The
you deal with.
not
The people,
Carter's,
the
there's
Castles
absolutely
owners.
nothing wrong with Carter's. I mean,
Yes.
I believe so much in Carter's. So, but it's a good organization, and you know, if you look at the mission and the vision of Carter's, it's so brilliant, and it's so needed.
Yes, very much so.
In the industry that we're in on the Cape Flats. And it's a pity that we can't go bigger, that we can't, go to other cities where we're the same.
Very much needed.
We're the same.
But it all boils down to funding.
Yes.
We do train our equine welfare practitioners with the help from World Horse Welfare, but there's just not enough of us. But like you said, we do an outreach at the Tankwa in the Karoo. Diana does go out and we do educate those, but you can tell us a little bit more about our outreach programs that we do
Yes.
manage to do.
We do the outreach in not only Tampa, we train quite a lot of inspectors in Grayson, and we have now a training which COVID suspended temporarily uh, at Epping, where we try and educate people and train people more about equine knowledge, how to handle and what to look out for. The one in Epping is still ongoing, but the Tankwa one is mostly donkeys.
Yes.
Current, I can try and explain to you as much as what I want, but you actually need to be there to experience it. Those donkeys, they live out freely, like natural, like they should live. And when the owners do need them, they are mostly used for transport. Then the owners will go and catch them. They will go to the park and they will go and fetch the children from the school, or they will go to church, which is sometimes the distance is quite far. They have to sleep over. Um, and the way the donkeys have adapted to the very dry and warm conditions of the tank was amazing. I've spoken to Ashley with regards to their hoofs. The hoofs are so hard. They don't wear shoes, yeah. And if you look at it, most of the donkeys, the only problem that they do have is that they've got a big need of harnessing.
They do.
And that is what we have addressed. Every time we go there, we
Education.
yes, we teach them, we give them veterinary packs where they can fix the wounds and explain to them what is causing the wounds. And I one day said to Megan, because Megan is part of the outreach team, I said to her, I think we should just make new harnessing for all the donkeys and then problem solved. But that would mean our outreach would be finished. And it's just so lovely to be there because they are so kind
And they listen and they take the education and advice to heart.
they try as much as they possibly
Yes,
can because
yes.
they also don't have the resources. If the harness is broken, they have to go and buy. They either have to go to Ceres or to Galcinia, which is very far and very expensive because most of the people that use the donkeys, most of the people that use the donkeys, they are farm workers of not of permanent farmers, but farmers that perhaps they're in Cape Town and they come down to the Tanka once a month, once every second month. So even if they need and they ask the farmer to bring them from Cape Town, they will only get it
In a while.
once time. Yeah. And in the meantime, they still have to go to
do
church.
what they
They
need to
still
do.
have to go to the padstal to go and buy what they need. They still have to.
Now that she's moved, let's introduce Perfect Timing. Yes. What's an interesting name? What is his story, Diana? Also a small tiny pony.
Yeah, I think he's. I think Ashley said the Hardy Junior is. I think the timing was just perfect when he was born.
Clearly.
Yeah, but he also had a very tough life. The owner was very sick when he was born, and he hardly was filled out. He was always under condition, and we supplied food, and we gave vitamins, and we supplied people eventually. The owner died. The owner died. Yeah. And the owner was the grandson inherited the horses.
Okay.
And the grandson then just put quite a lot of pressure on the grandson because he just didn't have the resources to buy feed. And
The grandson didn't have the resources to buy feed and to look after him. So
and then he sold. He then sold.
and then
Perfect
he
Timing.
sold Perfect Timing. Oh my goodness.
Not exactly to a house where he was better treated. He was better fed,
better
but
fed.
not necessarily better treated. You can look at him. You see the food.
Lunch is being
You
served.
can see that.
Oh,
Yeah, I think Julisi, when we confiscated him, it was Julisi. Julisi was first confiscation.
This
isn't
was my first confiscation.
Yeah, maybe you want to tell them your experience about it, how it came down.
Yeah, so we were still in level 4 lockdown, and I still remember that we were two teams, the yellow team and the orange team. I was lucky the yellow team, so I shined very brightly. Anyway, with him, we got a call from a law enforcement officer, if I remember correctly, saying that they've got this horse next to a road. He's thin, full of honest wounds or wounds. Ah, there you can go and eat, boy. There you go. And at first, I couldn't find them. I literally had to turn around, and then it was like literally just on the other side of the robot, so I completely missed them. But when I saw this horse, I was like, what was going through these people's minds to actually put this horse in a cart? I mean, like I said, this was my first confiscation, so I didn't really know how. I don't want to say it's bad, but how bad it can be. And then yeah, we loaded him into the horse box. He basically walked himself into the horse
Once
box
again,
that
knowing
day.
that you were there to save him.
We took him to SPCA because at that time we didn't have space on the farm. But thanks to a very good relationship we had with SPCA, they said they'll graciously take him in for the weekend, and we made space for him, and now he's a nice fat pony.
Yes, he is.
And a very lovable one. Oh. But I'm not going to kiss him now because he has food in front of him. So I'm not even going to try.
When we confiscated him, Karen, he was full of, like the carters we call knocks, wounds. He
Oh.
was full of open wounds, and we've got Sia here. Don't stand here around me, Sia. Don't stand. Don't bite. I know it's COVID. You fixed his harness a couple of times. Can you explain to me what it looked like?
I'm not even surprised to see like these wounds because the harnessing I was working on, his harnessing was very bad. Was too much wires.
Wires.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to take out those wires and try to collect a new pair of leather pieces to prepare a nice prepared harness. But the condition now it makes me excited because I can see that he finally have a wonderful home now, as to compare to the place where he was at the start.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, can you recall whether they looked after the harness? Did it break and did they just put wire back again?
Okay,
They put wire back again.
every piece of the harness, I mean, like riding, I take out a wire out there, reaching all every harness. There was a piece of wire in it, and it was completely damaged, broken.
And do you remember that after we confiscated him, the owner came back and he said, I want my horse back.
I wanted his horse back.
And he said, in what universe? Not in this universe we're living in.
I mean,
That's
if you
shocking.
look closely, you can still see some of the wounds. But
Yeah.
not
He's
wounds
scared of the
anymore, but
camera.
it's more the.
Oh, he's camera shy. Yeah, he's camera shy. But he's quite cute and he's quite healthy. And I think Carmen has got a thing for him.
But does she?
Yeah.
He's gorgeous.
Him and Applejack used to be friends. They used to stand in front of the office. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably still friends. Oh, there's eating.
And Donnie, what is Phoebe sounding like to look after?
Perfect timing. When the time he was coming here, you don't stand like this. I'm standing here. She's scared.
Scared.
She's scared very much. I don't know what's going on. I think this was gonna stay outside. They don't see anyone. If you can see the people, she's running. So I tried to speak with him
He did.
until I'm finished with him. Now I don't have problem with this horse.
No,
You can see I touch him. Now you
Alex,
can listen me.
it sounds like you've got the gift. All these horses come and you have it. Oh, look at that. He clearly adores you.
I'm here to do my job nicely. I don't want to find a problem with the horse.
No.
No. That's why always I do like this.
Well, you're doing an excellent job, really. I think she wants to eat.
Dr. Julius.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his best friend is Applejack.
Applejack, yes.
Applejack, which
Yeah.
we're going to meet a bit later, and Penny's going to speak to us about him. But um, Mar- Marika and I are going to take a little break after she does a little video on the second-hand tech that we get, so we can just have something to eat and something to drink, as well as our cameraman, whose arms must be quite tired. And then Diana will be just filming Alan for little bits, and so we can see how he works with our horses and the magic that he also does. So back to you in the studio, Marika.
Perfect. Thanks, Karen. Thank you very much.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay, see you later.
Okay. I have a picture here. I know Diana spent a lot of time talking about perfect timing, so I've found a picture. This is what he looked like when we first confiscated him. So yeah, it's quite a change that he's made. And that is all thanks to donations like yours. That's the reason that we can do what we do, is because people donate and we can take care of horses. We can take horses like Perfect Timing off the street, and we can pay for their recovery and later their rehabilitation. And you've seen what he looks like now. He's a happy, healthy little pony. He's made friends. He's learned how to become a horse again. And yes, he's just peaceful and happy. So I want to show you a little short video. Of course, we don't only have the Recovery and Rehabilitation Centre that we need to raise funds for, and we have many different avenues of raising funds, and one of those is our second-hand tech. So here's a short little clip of Karen and I collecting and delivering second-hand tech. And we are arriving at Equestrian Affair
To collect second-hand tech from Nadia. And they're great supporters of ours. They sell our calendars. They also have tins of ours. And tins, yes.
The four of those.
Fine.
And here we are at the tack shack.
I've got the name because normally you like to
Yes, you
send a letter or something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. I'm just still got a way to go.
So we're just filming because we're doing coffee with Cartos every Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we're just giving our supporters some airtime as well, if you don't mind. So we're in Tech Shack in Stellenbosch, and they also have one of our tins, which is almost full. So we'll be back hopefully very soon to
I'll give you a call when
Yes, I'm sure. And then once again, second-hand tech, which we always need, and was very generously donated, and we came to collect. So here we are at Hooves and Paws, who sell our second-hand tech for us, which brings in much-needed income. So we're just delivering all the second-hand tech that we got from Equestrian Affair and from Tech Shack Stellenbosch.
No, a lot of your meat stuff and everything on the schedule is all on.
No, what I'm saying is, do they also come and buy, like I said, proper?
Yes, yeah, no proper stuff. Yeah.
Not that ours isn't, but you know that. Yeah.
Yes, no, they come past the box.
Okay, and then they go inside.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome.
There is our little video. And just to remind you, before we go off on lunch, I'm going to just give you a quick reminder. That is our QR code, and you need to scan that if you want to donate via SnapScan. If you want You can also, I just want to remove the thing, so the QR code, you can clearly see the QR code. There you go. So you can just snap that with your phone and you can pay with SnapScan, or you can go into the app, go to more on the bottom right-hand corner, click on donate, search for Cart Horse, and you can donate any amount of your choice, 50 Rand, 100 Rand, 1,000 Rand. The donations came in thick and fast this morning and then they dried up. So we are getting a little bit nervous. We still have almost 280,000 Rand to raise today for these abused and neglected horses that are living at the Recovery and Rehabilitation Centre in Gordons Bay.